Hey, hello. Yeah, who knew Wachiuri? George Wachiuri. And today I was remembering some old days, when life was not too interesting. And I remember one day that my mother, I'm from a single mother. I remember one day my mother was going to fetch water. And I remember being told that, hey, George, ensure that you don't open the door, because inside the house, the previous night, there was a big puffander, a big snake. And for sure I told my mother, okay, mom, sitafungua nyumba. And my mother went to fetch the water. And our place, you go for 5 kilometers to fetch the water. Little did I forget that I was warned. So when I was a young boy, I was very active. I was the one who was sweeping the house. Every time my mother would go out, the time she's coming back, the entire homestead is swept. And that time I said I must make sure that the house is clean. So I went ahead and went to clean the house. Man, the time I opened the door, it was a wooden door. Our house was very old. I come from a very poor background. And when I opened, that's the time the puffander was resting and basking. Actually, it was enjoying the sunshine. And what happens? I stepped on it. Immediately, it pricked me. And I discovered I am going to be in trouble. I started shouting. When I was shouting, we were only two in the whole homestead. And in our place, lands were very big. Our shamba was 60 acres. So it was my older brother and myself. So when I was shouting, I remember I was only 7 years old. My brother was 9 years old, so he could not help. But even him, he started shouting. And thank God for good neighbors. Because a lady who is on the neighborhood, she came running. And I think she had been taught first aid. And she came, she discovered I was, my leg was actually becoming swollen. And she came and tied somewhere on my hip here. I was tied up here. Somewhere here. She tied me up. And then the leg was swelling. I was swelling. And I remember now I said, I am going to die. But by the grace of God, there was a headmaster who was the headmaster of our primary school. He had an old Land Rover. So then that same neighbor did a lot of noise. In Kikuyu we say boo, woo. And then the headmaster came running, taken to the hospital, and I was admitted there for a whole 2 months. And when I remember that story, two things happened in my life. That every time you see your neighborhood, please respect them, because were it not for that woman, George Wachiuri of today, I would be decaying in the tomb. Were it not for that particular neighbor. I also discovered that following instructions, I think, is very important. Yes, I was young. I was told, please don't enter that house, because there was a huge snake that was hiding in the house. Definitely, I forgot I entered. So I did not follow instructions. And that's a lesson for life, that you need to follow instructions. And then finally I discovered that every time you are in trouble, sometimes you cannot sort out this trouble for yourself. You require other people to sort out this trouble. And this particular experience when I was young has made me look at life differently, because I know that there are many things you cannot do for yourself. There are many things that you depend on other people. And today life is different. I'm happy that God saved me from puffander. And you can find this story on my book, Soaring Like an Eagle. And it's always good to flash back and remember those old days, the risks that we went through, and the good things that are forward. Maybe you are out there, you are saying, hey, right now I'm in a challenge, like being bitten by a snake, like George Wachiuri. You may be having that challenge now, but God has a better plan for you. When God has planned for you, it doesn't matter whether it's a puffander going to land on you. Whether there are challenges, that you are facing, there is always a better day tomorrow. We keep the hope alive. If George is speaking, after being beaten by a pathfinder, you have not been beaten by a pathfinder. You can do it. God bless you. Thank you. Have a wonderful Sunday. I love you.